This is one of my favorite boxes and is made from spalted hickory and walnut. I have a friend, Larry, who supplied the wood. I made it for an article published in Woodwork Magazine in June 2006. The article demonstrated the making and use of wooden hinges. I selected a particularly rough and decayed portion of the stock to make the lid, not minding that there was a hole clear through to the inside. I began by using a rotary chisel to remove badly decayed and loose material while also leaving a carved and textured surface. To use the rotary chisel, I used a tapping motion similar to tapping with a small hammer while removing loose material and leaving behind small chisel strokes. To begin mitering the box sides and ends, I made a test cut to be certain that the saw blade angle was at a precise 45-degree miter and used a combination square to be sure of the angle was true. I used a table saw sled to miter the parts using a three-corner match so that the grain at the corners would align. On the parts for the front and the back of the box, I made a table saw cut for the tray supports to be added. After sanding the insides of the box, it can be assembled. To assemble the box, I first used tape to join the corners and then used additional tape to hold the parts in relation to each other as the glue set. After removing the tape, I drilled holes for inserting walnut dowels. I drilled the holes using a quarter-inch brad point bit and using a drill press to ensure the holes would be straight up and down and to a consistent depth, and then inserted walnut dowels into the holes at each corner to add strength to the joints. I made the walnut dowels by first making quarter-inch square stock and then rounding the corners with the round-over bit in the router table. I'm planed the material for making wooden hinges to a consistent dimension of 3/8 inch thick and then used a crosscut sled and stop block to cut the walnut parts to a uniform length. Next, I used a 3/16 inch radius round-over bit in the router table around the ends of the walnut parts. This was to form the shape of the hinge knuckles to allow the parts to pivot in relation to each other. Next, I set up the drill press with a fence and stop block to drill 1/8 inch diameter holes for the brass hinge pins to fit. The holes must be centered in the stock. To make certain that the drill press passes all the way through with the holes aligned from both sides, I drill from one side, then flip the stock over and drill from the other. A brad point bit will give the best results. For connecting the leaves of the hinges, I made a quick finger joint jig, one that attaches to the table saw with miter gauge and used a stack dado with a quarter-inch curve. To make the jig, I first made a dado cut into a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Then I fitted a small piece of wood to serve as a guide pin. To set the required space between the guide pin and blade, I used a piece of pin stock to help adjust the jig's position on the miter gauge, and then made a test cut. If too tight, then move the guide pin closer to the blade. If too loose, then widen the space between the guide pin and blade. After the hinge leaves were formed, I drive a piece of 1/8 inch brass rod through to serve as a pin. I cut the hinge shapes to fit the design features in the lid and then thin the ends to make them appear less bulky. I used the rotary chisel to texture the surfaces of the hinges, giving them a hand-carved look. To add practicality to the inside of the box, I made a small sliding tray. I first cut the miters, then cut a groove for the bottom to fit. I then used small dowels to strengthen the miter joints. To begin assembly, I used Gorilla Glue to attach the hinges to the lid. And while that glue was setting, I added a walnut base to the box. Then, after the base was added, I glued the other leaves of the hinges to the back of the box. I created a small gap at the back that ensures that the lid rests fully closed along the front edge. I used paper shims as the hinge leaves were glued to the back of the box. After the glue had set, I added short dowels to strengthen the attachment of the hinges. With that and the application of a Danish oil finish, one of my all-time favorite boxes was complete. It is part of the permanent collection of the Museum of Eureka Springs Art.